Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is where beauty meets purpose and transformation begins. And I am back for my videos. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about lessons of 2024. 2024 actually taught me a lot, but there were some habits that were holding me back. And through some of the journaling, some of the reflections I've done, I've been able to kind of narrow them down. Today I'm going to talk about those habits. I'm going to break down on how they stunted my growth in 2024 and how I'm going to leave them behind before I enter 2025. If you're looking to level up this year, keep watching. Coming up to number one for me, if I'm being honest, might not be number one for you. But this one was skipping self-care. Like, as much as I love taking care of my face and my skin, there's a whole lot to self-care that goes beyond just the skin and the hair prep. And I really miserably failed, I feel like, on this subject this year. Just not being able to dress the right way, or I'm just maybe like, I've been an entrepreneur for 2.5 years now, and so I don't have any office to go to. So just like not being able to dress up to like a level that I wanted and I used to, and it was kind of a slippery slide for me. I feel like, it just started with one day, and then before you know it, you're just wearing gym clothes because like I said, I work out a lot too. That kind of like got me to a place where I wasn't getting dressed up in the morning to actually conquer the day. I feel like now that I have kind of switched my habits, there's a huge difference on how I show up every day. Before, self-care was kind of neglected in 2024, and other aspects I would say is like, I don't know how to take a break. I work 24/7. Even if I'm sleeping sometimes, I'm working, and I didn't know how to shut down my brain. And people who are close to me, who are my friends, would say, hey, like, you need to slow down. And even when I felt like I was relaxing, I would be sitting down, but I'm actually doing something. There's no quiet time. There wasn't like, be in a still place where you're not doing anything, and just like maybe refocusing, maybe reading a book. A con of an ADHD side effect is that I can't stay still, right? But there are things that I can train myself not to do, which is like not chasing dopamine. And that had to do with my social media use, and how I was just looking for like that little like 5 to 10 minutes of high, and then I couldn't relax and stay in that relaxed state for a while, where you were able to redirect, reflect, and see, even in the projects that I was doing, I needed breaks in between, but I didn't consciously take breaks. And therefore, there's ways that I would have probably progressed that I didn't, because I didn't take those breaks in between. And this one is maybe everybody's favorite bad habit, but this is maybe one everybody can relate to. It's procrastination. But I realized, and now that I've been doing a lot of self-reflection, that my procrastination is not from actually not doing the tasks that need to be done, but the tasks that need to be done have aspects of growth that come after it, or success. And because there was fear involved, I was subconsciously delaying my success by not doing some of the things that I needed to do. I know I just said a lot of words. What do you guys think about procrastination? Leave a comment down below if that's something you relate to, or maybe you have a different experience of why we procrastinate. There are other reasons I feel like subconsciously that we do, but leave a comment. I want to hear from you. Another habit I feel like that I was doing is not consciously put God first. In my mind, in the most Christian sense, I am putting God first, right? Like, I'm saying God comes first, and I pray and I do all religious things that people do. But really, in the tasks that I was doing, even in the little ones, I wasn't allowing space for God to actually help me. There was a lot of like, I got it, and then crash out, and then pray to God for help, and then it was just a lot of that kind of cycle of not being able to totally surrender my plans. totally to surrender my goals, right? Like you can plan and you can, if you're a Christian, it's really hard to, I can't imagine not being able to surrender your plans to God so that it becomes fruitful. Therefore, I lost that, like I was on a really go mode where I wasn't in a quiet space for me to receive God's help. And that kind of like, I feel like put me back in a space where I could have probably moved forward faster. So a lot of the goes and, you know, the skills you have, the resources you have, everything was from God, and it's already in you. But then there's a stage where we need to really like, oh, even in my procrastination, even in my morning routines, my night routines, there's space for for him to show up. But I was not allowing that, right? And it showed. This next habit, I wouldn't consider it a habit, but I would consider it life in general, which is like you get to see people around you and you end up kind of comparing yourself. Oh, I need to be at this space, at this age. Honestly, I think that part of me died when I decided to be an entrepreneur and quit my job. That really like set me back already, in whatever back is in human terms, I guess. But like I already knew I was gonna have to work a lot more than a lot of people to get to where I need to be, because I was not taking the traditional route. How do I say, a stable life, a stable job. And that is I don't necessarily abide by those traditional laws, but there is a state where you're like, maybe I should have stuck to my 9 to 5, and you know, that kind of like conversations do come up with myself, and that I feel like is a part of life. I don't think it's something you can leave behind, but also needing a reminder of like, hey, this is why you're doing what you're doing. This is why your route and your road is different than most people, and it's okay. It's okay that you didn't start off at the right time, or the soonest time, or didn't, you know, were not afforded the opportunities that others have. Just life. But it is a perspective of like, okay, this is my route. Do you accept the challenge? Do you accept the calling? Do you accept your purpose? Do you accept that your life and your road is going to be different than most people? The acceptance stage will take time. You'll struggle a little bit. This is how I see it. I mean, maybe I'm rambling now. It's a road and you're at the end, and there's two ways you can go. Most people do. It's a safe way, and it is gonna probably give you the things that you wanted sooner. There are no zigzags in this road, but this road is kind of zigzag, muddy, slippery, all that stuff. And you somehow picked a road and you started driving in one of the roads, and then you're in the middle. And now you just have to decide, do I go back or move forward? And I feel like I told myself, this is a one-way road now. There's no going back. And therefore, the comparison, the constant, like looking at your neighbor and saying, oh, I wish I had that, it kind of stops once you get to that point. But it is some mental work to get to that point. I hope I didn't ramble, but if I did, whoops. In the category of self-care, something I really noticed in 2024 that I did was not knowing my boundaries, where empathy ends and boundary starts. So tough. And I've been praying like, God, may my boundaries be stronger than my empathy sometimes, because there is an emotional investment that you make around in your surroundings and your friends and families that really is like gonna eat up into your own boundaries, because now the time and energy that was meant to be spent on your growth is now being spent on people that don't deserve it and don't need it, right? Like you are overstepping their boundaries to, you know, quote unquote, like be helpful, but you really like derailing your own growth. and therefore I needed like wisdom. Like that's something I'm still praying for 2025, is wisdom to get rid of that part of my life, because knowing when to stop and, you know, minding my own business is gonna be helpful for the things that I have planned. It's gonna be necessary. So that's just another tidbit that I have noticed, and these are the things I'm leaving behind. Know what I mean? So I want to hear from you. What are some habits you're leaving behind? What are some things you're like, I don't want to do this no more? And these are the things that I don't want to take into 2025. Please do comment below, and I want to learn. I want us to inspire each other. I want us to really be vulnerable and grow into the next chapter of our life with full self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Self-awareness is king. It's key. So I want us to really like help each other out. Please leave in the comments, and I want to hear more about what you are leaving behind. And then in the next videos, I'll talk about some new habits I'm building and I'm keeping myself accountable for it in the next year, that I am hoping you guys keep me accountable for. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear from you. If you are new here, please do like and subscribe. Until we see each other next time, have a good day.